everyone. Welcome to my channel and welcome back to my subscribers. As always, thank you so much for your support. So today we are going to work on stamping. I was on Pinterest and I was looking for some ideas and I came across Michelle Lanning, and I'll link to her. I think this is her blog site, where she was doing some stamping on some fabric. As I continued to explore Pinterest, I saw that folks were using frayed ribbon, and essentially it was muslin. So I ordered some and I went to town on these things. So first, what I'm going to do is I'll review stamping on the ribbon, and then I'll show you some of the projects that I've been working on with these stamp things. Okay, so let's get started. So in addition to stamping on the frayed cotton, this was muslin, I also did some stamping. I wanted to see how well it would work. I did some stamping on some chiffon, and I'm going to use one of these for a project as well. So I want to just add a little bit more to what I have here. And I've got my Tim Holtz stamps and some black ink, and I like this block here because you could see right through it where you're placing things. And I just moved I moved the block up and down, left and right, and there you have it. It was that simple. Now for the fraying, I took a scissor, you don't want to cut too close because you want to leave room to do your fraying, and I'm just pulling the ends right on off. And there's some fraying on that side, and then I'm going to do the same on this side. And give you a little bit of contrast there. And there's the that frayed ribbon. And I've actually been saving these because it's junk journaling, and I'm pretty sure there'll be something to to create with these little strips here. Okay, so I did the same process with the chiffon, and let's get to now some of the projects that I've been working on. I just want to clean my stamp very quickly and get that put away. Okay, so this first project here, this is where I wanted to do some type of specimen slides. So I cut out my backing, you know, and then I cut out the front, and essentially this is glued on, and it's glued on with the double-sided tape. And this is so thin that all I needed was the double-sided tape with all my frayed edges. And this is not going anywhere. It's not moving, okay, as you can see. And I want to decorate this up a little bit. So first I'm going to seal it. Going to finish sealing it. And I want to put a label on this. And I think I also want to put something on the top here to give it a better finish. So I have something that I've already started, and I think I also want to put another label right on the top there. So this is a whale tail that I started earlier today just to keep the video moving along. And I am going to glue this down. Try to get that as centered as possible. I'm not going to fuss too much. And here is my little specimen slide. And you know, the fabric, it's a different look, and it adds a little bit of a, you know, it gives it more texture. And I'm pretty happy with how that came out. So that's one project that you can do. Now the next project that I worked on is the following. So I started a hidden paper clip. So let me get everything that I'm going to use together to put this little project together. Okay, so you've seen me do hidden paper clips in the past. So this is one of the larger paper clips. I have 3 sheets, and they are 2 inches, and they are just shy of 6 inches, and I folded each of them in half. Okay, so I'm going to take my paper clip, put that in there. I'm going to add some glue along the sides and in the middle on that side. Okay. And I'm going to shut that, and I'm going to repeat this on the other side. I'm going to get some glue around here and in the center. Okay, now my top cover. Okay, so I'm going to glue all around. Okay, and as you can see, I've already done my distressing to keep the video moving along. Okay, so I want to use the one that I made with the chiffon. And I want to do a few layers with this. So I think I have like this little specimen label that I want to put on there, and I want to layer it like this. And I like how you could see through the chiffon, so I think I'm going to do that. And I have, let's see, here it is right in front of me. So I'm going to put a label on here. When I was doing my stamping, I thought it would be neat to stamp on some book pages to create some labels. So here's another one. I had some leftover book pages, so hold on to those scraps because you can create labels. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to glue this here. Okay, so let me get that glued down. Okay, and then I need to cut my chiffon. So I'm going to cut it right about there. I'll line it up with the edge there and cut that. Okay. And let me get this glued down. Okay. And I'm going to use my two-sided tape to hold the chiffon ribbon. Probably need a little bit more about the length of the ribbon, so I'll put a little bit more down. So it's about that wide. I'm not going to aim too much for perfection because this is just a demonstration. Okay, so I'm going to get that down, that. I'm going to trim that a little bit on the edge without messing up my paper clip. Okay, and the rest will get hidden. So we're going to stick this over here. Okay. And then I'm going to put some finishing touches on this. And I almost forgot to put some finishing touches on my specimen slide. So for my specimen slide, I have a little dangle. Okay. And then for our little paper clip, I have another dangle, and I have to get this on here because the jump ring, I have to get the jump ring on here because this hole right here, it's too small. So let me get my jewelry pliers, and with the jump ring, what you're going to do is you're going to push and pull versus opening it this way. If you open it this way, then you can ruin the circular shape. So I'm going to push and pull this way. So that's open. And I'll get my little key on there. And then you'll push and pull in the opposite direction. Okay, because you want to, as much as possible, maintain the integrity of the circle. All right, so I'm going to put this in here now. And put this in here. Okay, and that's project number 2, a hidden paper clip. Okay, and again, I really like how you could see through that. All right, so let me set this aside. Now, the next project. Okay, in case you don't have colored ribbon, here's what you can do. So I use the picked raspberry to give this a little bit of color. So I'm going to use, to give this one a little bit of color, I'm going to use the vintage photo. And I'm just gonna pounce and rub a little bit. So if you wish to change the color of things, then you can use your distressed ink. So here's the color before, right? And now here's the color afterwards. So you could see the difference there. Okay, so that is another project. Let me set this aside. Another project is the following. So you could take one of your tags, one of your journaling cards, and let me just do a little bit of fraying on here, pulling that off on the edge. And just adding that to my other pile of frayed things. And we can put this at the top of a journaling card and make it a little fabric tag. And let me just get a stapler and try to get that in neatly. Let me just pull it down a little bit more, that might help. Okay. Alrighty. There we are. Okay. And I'm just going to staple that. And if you don't want to see a staple, you can just get a flower or something, or a piece of ribbon or some other decorative element and put that over it. So that is another project that you can do with these. So here I made a quick envelope. Wasn't difficult to make. Just a sheet of paper that I just folded up and left a little extra for a flap, and then notch things out. So here's one that has a little stamp saying on it, and it says, "Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle." And I thought that would be a sweet little saying to glue down onto a flap of an envelope. And then whatever you have in here that's a surprise. This is a nice little saying, a little gift to give to someone. So that's another project that you can do. And then let's see, what else did I think about? So remember one of the previous videos that I did, it was a folio bookmark, and I pulled it out, and there's, you know, I have this kind of like specimen theme going on, and I can continue that with with what I have stamped here. So this is definitely something you can decorate your journals and folios with. And lastly, as I was looking on Pinterest, I also saw that folks were doing some stamping on flour sack towels. So I thought that I would give it a try, and I really like how it came out. So again, I used the Tim Holtz, and my stamping pad comes with the magnets. So, you know, use your magnets or tape things down to try to keep the fabric secure. And what I did was, the first thing that I did was after things were secure, I placed my stamps down where I wanted them, and then grab my stamp pad so we could pick it up, and then I you know, you put the ink on it, and then I was able to just use this object here to press it on. And then I wondered if, you know how when you're stamping with paper and you need to add a little bit more ink, this was really light the first time around. I thought maybe it might get a little bit smudgy or something, but I did reapply more ink, and I tried not to move the fabric, and I went over it again, and it came out a little bit darker. I don't dare to keep doing that because I think eventually it would smudge. So this is something that you know, you can cut out and perhaps put it on your journal. I know that my audience is very creative, so I'm sure you will come up with some wonderful things. So let's just take a look again at some of the projects here with all of my mess. Oh boy. So I hope you enjoyed today's projects, and that's it. That's a wrap. Okay, folks, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Okay, everyone, if you like this video, please share, please hit the like button, and please subscribe. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.